What's up, Touche Gang, and welcome back to another vibing video. It's your girl Shay.
And it's your girl Teasy.
So y'all, we just wanted to come give y'all an update, like what's going on. A few things have changed. We still have been uploading, but just not as consistent, you know. So we just want to let y'all know where we at and like our mindset and just everything. First starting off, I started working. I completed my second week of working. I'm at a warehouse too, so we both work warehouse jobs. And y'all, we had the same schedule.
Right, it's not the same warehouse job though.
No, I said warehouse. We both working in warehouse.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it's not the same like company.
Yeah, not the same company. Definitely don't do the same thing. Like completely different. But how I feel working, I feel good. I feel like what I do in the warehouse is way easier than I expected. Now it is a lot of work. I feel like anything you do in the warehouse is going to be a lot of work, like bulk work. But it's easy to do, and you know, I love the schedule. Having our weekends off, that's really a blessing. Yeah. And I didn't try to purposely get the schedule she had. It just worked out that way.
Right.
And I'm grateful for that because we can handle all like our business and stuff on Friday. Like if we need to go to the doctor's appointment, we needed to do anything, you know, we could go on Friday.
Yeah.
But before working, like I had like health things. I wouldn't say issues because nothing is an issue, but I had like health things that I need to worry about. I was bleeding for like a month. Like I was bleeding. So I had got a normal period, and then it just prolonged, and I had blood clots back to back. Like it got scary.
Huge.
I went to the hospital.
Clots.
Yeah.
Huge.
It was very huge. I went to the hospital like 3 times over it.
Like
and
this big, huge. Like
yeah, like a
big,
golf ball.
Not even playing. Like,
yeah. It was terrible.
It was a lot, and it was a real scary, you know what I'm saying? But we had to keep having our faith. Even me and Shay had like a conversation, like, you know, like if something was to happen, like what, you know, we had to have that conversation. It was really emotional and like terrifying in a way, but not like scared, but not terrifying. Like it was just like
it was a scare.
Whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when is it gonna stop? When is this, you know, like where did this come from? And it was just a lot. So back in December, she was on for like 2 weeks, which is very irregular. And then by her being on for a whole month, like it literally was a month of her just consistently bleeding through her clothes,
but
like
heavy,
going through like 4 pads at a time. It was just
I had to wear like I didn't went and bought. We went to the store 3 times to buy pads. I'll put like 4 on at a time, and it still would bleed through.
We went to the hospital about 3 times,
and I was passing clocks so much, so heavy. Like I would have to like, whoa, when it's coming, I have to go to the bathroom. By that time, my plants down my leg, blood's dripping. Like it was like extremely bad, and then it was so hard to respond to it because like, okay, by the time I get to the hospital, I could bleed through my clothes going to the hospital. Like it'd be times where she was just cool, she was dancing, everything, it was fine, and then next thing you know, she like, babe, and I'm like, what? And then it's just everywhere, all on her clothes, everywhere. Yeah. So then we finally went to the hospital, and then I asked for a what is it called? I asked for ultrasound. Yeah. And then getting the ultrasound, found out that I still have 3 fibroids. Now I have to figure out, like, I have to go to OBGYN to see if they need to be removed, they could be froze, or do I leave them alone?
Their schedule is so, like, the closest they had was months out. So y'all know how we are. We were just praying and praying and praying, because I'm like, okay, like, then God was reminding us of so many things that he healed and people he healed in the Bible. That was coming up a lot more and stuff like that too. And I was just like, God, please do it for my baby. Please do it for her, because it was a lot. She was losing a lot of blood. Her blood levels was low. Got low. So
I had to take iron pills. I was on birth control for 10 days. It only stopped my period for 2 days. So that was it's kind of like I was taking birth control to still be on my period. Definitely,
and that's
the
something
blood
that she
levels,
never done before.
Never
did.
Ever took birth
Shay is the type of person that don't take medicine or anything like that. So by her taking that, when they first told us was that, yeah, your blood is low and you're going to need to be on birth control. That's kind of how they said it. And it was just like, wait a minute, like, what other options did they have? But at that time, it was so much going on. Shay would take baths, it's just like blood baths, it's just like a lot of stuff.
And I don't feel like the doctors were hearing me, they weren't listening. I don't feel like they took it as serious, because I don't think I was exaggerating. Like we said, the blood clots was the size of like golf balls, and like it would be like I remember the one I held, it was like 4. I even took like the blood clots to the hospital with me at a point because that's how big they were.
They wasn't tiny, taking it serious.
If they were tiny, I wouldn't have even put it in a bag to try to, you know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like they took it serious. So I had to kind of like forcefully ask for like an ultrasound, and then getting that when he came in the room, and I'm mad. I don't even know the size of my fibroids. He didn't say. He said, yeah, so you had 3 fibroids. He kind of like, oh yeah, I guess what you was saying is serious, like. But he never said this is the size, and by that time we was there all night, so I forgot to ask like what size are they. But I feel like as a doctor you should say, yeah, you got 3 fibroids, 1 is like this size, 1 is that size, these are your next steps. He just kept saying, yeah, go to your OBGYN. And I get they can't do much in the emergency room, but
they can tell you more information.
Yeah, and I just don't feel like they were taking it serious enough. And still, like I said, going to OBGYN is the dates are so far out, so then what, you know? So that kind of was like emotional, irritating to me, because I'm coming here,
yeah,
and you not caring.
I'm really glad, because the first time it happened, I remember you was we was training with Portia. I remember you was like, it came out like you peed on yourself, and I was like, well, I didn't understand. But when I actually seen it, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was like, what to do? Like, I'm trying to pack a bag to get ready to go to the hospital in case she got to bleed through this clothes, trying to do that, but she's calling me, she need my help. It was just so, and she was in the house by herself that day too, so I had just got off and we just went in the house and everything, and it was just like, it just happened, and it was just, it was terrifying.
Yeah.
But in the midst of all this is when Shay was still putting in job application after job application, going to interview after interview. It was a lot that she was going through with her body and emotionally, and it was like physically starting to like get to her, you know. So it was really like a tough moment, and I feel like you know, that's kind of like not one of the reasons why we took a break, but sometimes it's harder to pick up the camera and express this stuff to y'all when there's just so much going on. Yeah. You know, it's times where Shay would just be in the room and just putting in application after application, get on the call, kind of feel like interviews.
Like, is God saying don't get a job? And then it got annoying because I'm like, at first we wasn't putting in applications and we didn't feel called, and then I felt like God was showing me, this is not the time. And I still don't feel like it was, because as I was doing all them applications, then that stuff started happening. So if I was to be working, how? I wouldn't have been able to be working, because when I first started my first 3 days, I actually had to run to the bathroom twice. And I had to bring like 10 pads with me going to work. And
I had the car just in case I had to come pick you up to take you to the hospital. It was a lot.
It was kind of frustrating too, because you gotta wear clear bags going to like our jobs, and I'm like, dang, people gonna see all these pads, but I'm like, look, I gotta do what I gotta do. But now knowing that God knew that my body was gonna go through all that, so it wasn't time for me to work. Even like I said, when I started work, the first 3 days of work, I was still bleeding, like. Bleeding heavy, like to the point I had to keep my pads, and I was
like going in with like 12 big maxi pads, like they was big. They ain't no little skinny always, like it's them fat thick ones, like them, and like 4 of those.
I had to go home. I was like, babe, I almost missed it. I had to run to the bathroom, but you got to think, a warehouse ain't. It's not like I'm working in a like at office, a Foot Locker or somewhere, the bathroom's right there. No, you gotta walk, then turn right here and walk, you know what I'm saying? So it was, and then the way how the blood clots come, like one false move is on my pants, period. One false move. So now looking back, I know God was telling me it wasn't time for me to work at that moment, because my body, like after I kept doing all the applications, then boom, my body just went, it just hit.
And I remember I was telling Shay, I was like, well, all this going on, take your time, you know what I'm saying? Because when God called you to it, I tell you, when he called you to it, you're gonna be busy. Because that's what I was. When I got the job and everything, I was busy. Still having to record, still having to, you know what I'm saying, do all this and working like 10 hours, like on top of being on your feet all day. Warehouse job, you don't sit down, like, you know, so it was just a lot going on, but I'm glad that you're feeling better. That is all done and over with. We just was giving y'all a backstory of it. She is no longer in that situation. Prayerfully, this fibroids is gone. Like we said, we prayed over her, and you know, prayed to God and kept praying, and I'd be at work praying, and you know, So it's not where she's not bleeding no more.
Yes.
And we just gonna keep praying for when your next cycle comes that everything is back to normal. And you know, we go to the doctor office
and
with the OGBYN and it's gone.
Don't have to be surgically removed or froze, whatever.
Yeah.
Hopefully God just say, you know what, let me just throw them things away. Whatever, however God chooses to do.
I know it was a test. I know it was a test.
Yeah, and
we was getting reminded of the story with Job too, when he had to go through all that and lost all this stuff.
And I kept thinking about the lady who bled for 12 years, that she went broke. Going to doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor, and it took just one touch on Jesus' clothes that healed her. So, you know, I didn't try to put myself in her situation, but I try to put myself in her mindset. Like, you know, only person that can do it is God. Only person, because even in it, and he was showing me that, because the doctors did not care. So I couldn't be like, oh, I'm trusting. And for me to take a step to do birth control really was me like, okay, I'm gonna listen to these doctors, but I gotta trust God. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, the medicine didn't help. I feel like prayer helped. Yeah. Pray, because it only stopped it for 2 days, so that's proof that prayer helped, and I'm not bleeding anymore. They wouldn't prescribe me birth control again. Iron pills, I had to get that over the counter. They didn't prescribe that, you know. So they did give painkillers, and well, I don't like to say painkiller. Wow, they give pain meds, but as far as that, prayer just helped. And now we're both working our schedule, and you know, God is just aligning things. He opened the door for us, and He gonna keep opening doors for us. Again, we still gonna do encouraging content. We're trying to remember what God told us to do and prioritize what He told, because God is over money. It's not about us just having jobs and working. We're not gonna get focused and wrapped up in it, and we try to encourage and tell ourselves that every day, like we're not, even though we have things we're aiming for right now, we're still not gonna focus on worldly things. We're not going there. And
I tell Shay all the time, if God tell you to give up a check, you got to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to
give up a job.
That's
what walk away.
You can't do the worldly things. You can't say, oh yeah, well this is great. No, whatever He say do, you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's for us both. That's for us all. You know what I'm saying? Like, allow God to call you and move how He want to move, and it's gonna be okay. It might be tough, because y'all see all we had to go through. It was very tough, but He will give you the peace too. So you know, you just have faith, and you ask God for the vision and everything, and He will give it to you. And He has been showing us multiple things, and it's just so beautiful to even be sitting here right now and then talking to her. You feeling way better. You're feeling way better. It was at times she was getting lightheaded because it was so much blood that she was losing and stuff like that.
I was emotional just because I'm like, what is going on? I just kept saying, why? Like, why am I bleeding like this? But I'm just thankful, because tomorrow's never promised to none of us, and that's why you gotta love on your people. You gotta treat people right, talk to people nice, obey God, listen to God, pray for people, you know, smile, and just I feel like I learned from that moment, and do not worry or stress about things, because there's a lot of things I was trying to take care of while I'm going through things.
And now I said, don't do that. Got a book. I gotta share a book and everything, and I told her, just write in the mornings, because she would get up with me in the mornings and help me and get ready. And I really thank you so much for all that. I thank you so much for all that. Hold on, real quick.
1 second.
So y'all, we are back.
Yeah, we back. But I think we pretty much wrapped everything up. Yeah. We have some things we working on, what God is working on for us, and as we just continue working, we just gonna be humble, keep being honest, also being graceful, and you know, just bring y'all along on a journey. We didn't just get to a place and just forgot about y'all. We really just trying to get in a good flow of everything, and keeping God first and foremost in front of everything that we do. Yeah.
So we hope that y'all understand. We thank y'all for watching. We thank y'all for subscribing. We thank y'all for always staying tuned. The battery is about to die. But we about to wrap it up anyways, y'all. We love y'all. We, like I said, thank you again, and we appreciate everything that y'all do. The comments, even whatever y'all do, we appreciate it. You know, whatever.
And make sure y'all subscribe if y'all haven't already.
Yeah.
And follow all our social medias. And
that's pretty much it. Thanks for coming to hang with Touche Gang. See you.